does a woman from Houston start a nonprofit foundation at the age of 20, then raise millions of dollars to open schools for children in a village thousands of miles away?
Tonight, the extraordinary work of Mandy Stein, a story about passion, commitment, and an unflinching belief in making a difference.
In the foothills of Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania, there is a village where children are playing and learning. They attend two schools founded by Houston native Mandy Stein. She first came to the country for a summer program after her sophomore year at UT to work at an orphanage.
I show up at this children's home, 70, 80 kids living in a space suitable for 20 or 30 people, 4 to 6 kids per bed, truly horrific conditions. And they decided to throw me a birthday party. And I was just floored.
For your 20th birthday.
For my 20th birthday.
The joy she witnessed ignited a desire to improve the children's lives.
It's one thing to have compassion and understanding about these kids, but what made you say, I'm going to do something about it?
There's a saying, if not me, then who? If not now, then when?
Within a year after returning to UT, Mandy started the nonprofit Neema International. After graduating, she bought a one-way ticket to Tanzania with an ambitious goal, ending the cycle of poverty in the village.
So for these kids, they have two options. They can either wallow and follow in the hardship that they were born into, okay? Or we can stop it today and create a better future for themselves and for all the rest that will come after them.
She began fundraising and opened her first school in 2016.
And when you opened that school, how many students did you initially
Only
have?
40.
40 students?
Yes.
3 and 4-year-olds?
3 and 4-year-olds. And then we realized we were too late.
What does that mean?
These kids got nothing. We had 3 and 4-year-olds who had literally never held a crayon, never said their ABCs, didn't know how to count, didn't know how to introduce themselves.
So what did you do, push back the age?
Even earlier. So I take them as young as 6 months now.
In January, she opened a secondary school for children up to about age 15. The education is free and includes sports, music, art, mental health support, even job training for the parents. She has done all of this while raising a child, a boy she first met at the orphanage she planned to care for temporarily in her early 20s.
You taken a child, Baraka,
Yes.
That's his name.
Yes.
How old was he then?
Baraka was 10 months.
She was to keep him for a year, maybe 2.
He started speaking and calling me mom, and one thing led to another, and about 2.5 years after he lived with me, I filed for adoption.
And how old is he now?
He'll be 13 in November.
And how has that been?
Amazing. It's the greatest thing I ever did.
The next greatest thing, she got married last year. At age 35, Mandy has done more than many people do in a lifetime. She admits the work has not been easy, but says it is a true gift to see what love, education, and opportunity can do for a child.
So Mandy comes back to Houston once or twice a year to kind of look for support, cobble together resources to ship back to Africa. It's a lot of work, but she's full in.
Yeah, her life's work, no doubt. So I'm curious to know, with that being said, does she have any interest in eventually moving back to Houston and returning back home?
I asked her that. She said no. She's gotten used to the lifestyle, the simplicity of how she feels there, and she's very comfortable there. So she says she doesn't see herself moving back. Obviously, she'll come back and visit, but living, she likes being in the village.
Probably also loves the accomplishment.
I think so.
Yeah.
And she feels like there's more to do. So, some people are built that way. They I'm not done. It's not enough.
What one person can do.
Isn't it amazing?
Perfect example.
From 2 schools to who knows how many we'll be talking about in the future.